everyone.
Good morning.
Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
Good morning, Ashish.
Good morning, Sachin.
Wow. Hi, I'm Sachin, and I'm Sergeant at Arms for today. Not for today, like in every meeting. And I have to confess something. I'm coming here after 2 weeks. I was out of station. But let's do a quick activity. We are sitting here and we are sitting comfortably. And everybody was creeping about how is this room. But I think I see a very good thing in this room is that you can stand up and move around without like going around that bench thing. So that's a good opportunity for today. So I ask you to please stand up and do this little activity for me. What you have to do is you have to keep your both hands free. Nothing in your hand, nothing in your hand, nothing in your hand. Hello, nothing in your hand. And you have to give a high five to each one of you. Each one of you. And mind you, no one should be missing. No one should be missing. Let's do the chaos. Let's go. Yes. No one should be missing. Wow. Together, no one should be missing. You have to do everyone. Yes.
Battle strategy ऐसी रखी है। हिलूंगा नहीं।
Yes.
मैं कैमरे के पास ही रहूँगा। एकदम आ जाओ यहाँ।
बचा तो नहीं है। मैं भी जोर वाला। जोर वाला क्या होता है भाई? हाथ में दर्द करे इससे। गरम हो जाए। क्या एप्स्टीन के लिस्ट से आए हो क्या?
So good. So everyone did a high five to respected people? Yeah? Yes. Good? Wow, that's great. Let's clap for it. So we all are here. Everyone has a mission in their life, and so has the Toastmaster. The Toastmaster has a mission to achieve. Toastmaster has a mission to provide a supportive. Please take your seat. To provide supporting and positive learning experience in which members are empowered to develop communication, leadership, self-confidence, and personal growth. And it goes by 4 core values. Toastmaster goes by 4 core values, and they are integrity, respect, service, and excellence. Before starting the meeting, I would like to set some of the ground rules. There are 4 ground rules that we follow here at GTMC, Burgan Toastmaster Club, that are please turn off or put your phone on the silent mode so that it does not disturb the ongoing meeting. And second is, as Toastmaster, we don't talk about sex, religion, politics in a derogatory manner. So, and third is, please do not crosstalk and interrupt the speaker unless you are explicitly asked to do so. And the last one is, please take entry or exit in the room while applaud time, so it does not break the ongoing momentum of the meeting. And thank you so much for joining here on Sunday morning. You could have been doing a lot more things, sleeping, scrolling, doom scrolling Instagram, maybe going to park or something, but you chose to be here. So once again, give a huge round of applause for yourself. And wishing each one of you great unlearning, learning, and relearning in the upcoming 2 hours, 2.5 hours. Over to you, Presiding Officer, Team Namita.
Thank you, Sachin. And so good to be back after 2 weeks, just like our Sergeant at Arms, which was not something that we mutually decided, but yes, coincidental. And the second thing I'm grateful about is having my voice back, because if any of you would have heard me few days back, I would have sounded like a sick Amitabh Bachchan. And my husband was so glad that I was sounding like that because I was speaking less. And he was deliberately not taking me to the doctor. But eventually then I took an antibiotics course and got my voice back somewhat. Still not perfectly fine because of the AQI, which I'm allowed to blame. All right. I'll start with the structure of like any Toastmasters club. We follow a structured set of meeting. We'll start with the prepared speeches section where each of the assigned speakers will come up here and they'll deliver their prepared speech. Each prepared speech has a designated evaluator. The second part of the meeting is the table topic section where we have impromptu topics, and we encourage all of you, including the guests, to come up and utilize the stage, have your stage presence and speak on the topic that is provided. And then we have the third section, which is the evaluation section, for which we are all here to understand, to improve our learning and public speaking. Having said that, I'll move on to have our guest introductions. So just introduce yourself, what do you do and what brings you here on a Sunday morning. So we'll start with you, sir.
For the first time I'm here.
Welcome.
I have been dealing with, watching Toastmaster for the last decade. I am Dr. Ramesh Razdan from Jammu Kashmir basically. And I move here in Gurgaon sometimes because my son is here. I am now less of a doctor than a social activist. Fully immersed, 80%, 90% of time I do social activity. I am already in public speaking. That's all.
Welcome, sir. Hope the Delhi weather is treating you well after Kashmir's weather.
Yeah, no, it's all right.
Especially the AQI. All right. Thank you, sir.
Hi, I'm Sanjana. I'm a second year student. I'm studying BTech, and I just wanted to improve my communication skills because eventually when I'll start job hunting, it will come in handy. So this is my first class. I just wanted to try it out.
Hi, I am Rupam. I'm a mother. I'm here just to lead by example. I've been associated with Toastmasters in the past. I've worked as a director of technology and artificial intelligence here in Gurgaon. But I'm more of, since I'm also from the engineering background, I'm here to support my daughter. Eventually in the process learn myself as well, whatever opportunities I have. Thank you.
That's an excellent role modeling that you are doing, and you don't look like a mother-daughter duo. That's a compliment.
You like sisters?
Yeah.
Hello everyone, I am Uchit Kumar. I work in Maruti Suzuki, and since last 16 or 17 years I am facing a challenge like to speak publicly, and I want to break that barrier. The thing is that I was telling lie to myself that I am good. So now I have realized I need to actually focus on this particular weak area, which I was postponing since so many years. So I am just here.
And sometimes the lies that we tell ourselves do actually work. So keep on telling that lie, but alongside keep working on that also. All right.
Hi everyone, good morning. My name is Dheeraj Yadav. I'm a talent acquisition professional. I've been working, it's been almost 18 plus years. So now I'm planning to enter into a leadership role and I'm about to get promotion. So there are a lot of public presentations which one need to give, and I feel I'm very scared of stage. So I'm here to just work over that thing.
Thank
you.
You'll see a lot of talent here, so probably something to acquire from here itself. We would want to know about you also.
Hello everyone, my name is Vatsal Garg. Today I came to Toastmasters to improve my public speaking with my father. Thank you.
Very nice.
Hi, morning everyone. My name is Piyush Tyagi and I'm from Gurgaon, and HCL Taj Hotels. I'm part of the corporate engineering team at HCL, and I want to work on my public speaking skills. Looking forward to collaborate with you all and learn this.
Hi, I am Priyank Kendra. I was referred, this is my first Toastmaster meeting, I was referred to by an ex-member, and as I am going up to corporate later, I have noticed that I sometimes do not end up speaking well in meetings, so I just trying to gather my thoughts and learn how to be more presentable when it really matters. So yeah, that's what I'm doing.
You're at the right place.
Hi, I'm Linky and I work for City Plus Telecom, through technology. I'm part of the engineering domain, but I'm a non-technical person in the technical domain. And I'm part of a lot of forums, employee engagement forums. So I need to speak more. I would like to speak more. So what I want is to understand how do you put thoughts together and synthesize the thoughts. How do you speak that way? Because sometimes I know I can speak, but putting the thoughts together is something that becomes a challenge. That's what I was wondering. Absolutely.
All right. Thank you so much, everyone, for gracing us with your presence on a Sunday morning. And we can now move on to our actual meeting and begin that. For that, let me welcome the Toastmaster of the day here on the stage, who has a very interesting theme here, something that we enjoy a lot, and that is travel. So, Toastmaster of the day, our Sergeant at Arms also, Toastmaster Sachin. Over to you.
Thank you. Toastmaster Navina. Let me ask you one question. How many of you felt jealous while looking at the Instagram stories of your friends traveling in the mountains or anywhere? Usually, like I always do, I need to go there. So that's what the theme of the day is: traveling, a way of living. Entire meeting, as mentioned by President, it is a structured form where the prepared speakers come here, do the speech, and then it goes on. And I'm here, I'll be filling the gaps in between by talking about traveling and making the transition smooth throughout the session. And I would not do that alone, of course. So here we have a general evaluator, which takes care of everything and evaluates everything what's going on in the meeting. So let me invite TM Nachiketa for
Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
I'm the general evaluator for today's meeting, and as the general evaluator, I'll be evaluating everything that takes place during the meeting, from the very first person in the meeting to the very last person in the meeting. I'll be supported by a team of supplementary evaluators. I'll call each of them on stage for them to explain their roles. The first supplementary evaluator is the active listener, Vishwajit, if you can come on stage, please.
Thank you, evaluator. Good morning to one and all to meeting number 889. I am Vishwajit. I will be the active listener for today. But actually, I am not the active listener. You will be the active listener for today. It is supposed to be a fun session, but fun session for me, because I can call anyone impromptu and ask them regarding whatever they have listened during the meeting, and I will test your listening skills. And since this role was given today in the morning itself, I don't have any chocolates or any reward for anyone, but I can do the opposite. I can have a disincentive for the losing team. The losing team has to come to the stage, we have a very nice stage, and do a 30-second dance on Gangnam Style. So over to you, the new evaluator.
Thank you. Other huge round of applause for the Grenadian. Yeshita, if you can come on stage, please.
Hi everyone, my name is Ishita and I'm your Grenadian for today. My role is to challenge us, elevate our language, check the word of the day and idiom usage across our speeches, our conversations, and at the end I'll come with my report just to learn from you the right phrases, the creative phrases that you used, and the words also, and then maybe a tidbits of where we missed. All right, so word of the day is imperious, which means commanding or domineering. Despite her imperious tone, few people followed her suggestion. The idiom for today is play it by ear. To handle situation as it develops rather than following a preset plan, often used for improvisation or spontaneity, like spontaneous travel, right? We don't have any real plans for the weekend, so we'll just play it by ear. All right, thank you.
We have the timer, Alicia, on stage, please.
Hello, good morning everyone. So I'm your timer for today. I will be timing all segments of the meeting. So each speaker has 5 to 7 minutes. So I'm using these cards to stay within the time. At the 5 minutes, at the minimum time, I'll raise this card. At the mid, I'll raise yellow card. And for maximum time, I'll raise this card. So please stay within the time. And for evaluator, each evaluator has 2 to 3 minutes. So again, I'll raise for minimum time at 2 minutes this card. And 2 minutes 30 second this card, and for maximum time I'll raise that card. And for table topic, their timing will be 1 to 2 minutes. Again, for minimum time at 1 minute I will be using this card, green card, again yellow card at the mid, and for maximum time 2 minutes I am using this card. At the end I'll share my report, and please try to complete within that time. Thank you.
Just to give you clarity, in the first and the third section, you have 30 seconds buffer time before and after, which means in the speech section, you can speak for minimum of 4.5 minutes and maximum of 7.5 minutes. In the evaluation section, it will be minimum of 1.5 minutes and maximum of 3.5 minutes. In the table topic section, there is no buffer time in the beginning, which means you have to speak for a minimum of 1 minute and a maximum of 2.5 minutes. Moving on to the R counter, I'll be taking on the role of the R counter. As the R counter, I'll be noting down the R's, filler words, pauses, and repetitions used during the meeting. I'll present my report at the end of the meeting. Apart from the supplementary evaluators, I'll also be supported by a team of evaluators who will be evaluating each speaker. For the evaluators, I just have one suggestion. You can try to use the CRC approach, which is the most common approach used in Toastmasters. It's known as the commendation, recommendation, commendation approach. It is sandwiching the recommendations in between commendations so that you do not demotivate the speaker, but try to motivate the speaker. At the same time, give him good recommendations. All these people will come up on the stage in the third section, which is the evaluation section, and I'll come back during the third section. Till then, I'll hand off the stage back to the Toastmaster of the day, Sachin.
Thank you, team Nachiket. I hope everyone is aware like how the structure of the meeting would be. Evaluators, speakers, everyone, we are all good with the timings, our counters, and all different roles. I want you guys to raise your hand if you have been to 5 countries, 5 different countries, and keep your hand raised for a while. If you have traveled to like outside India, say outside India.
Countries से तो मतलब हुआ ना?
No. Just even one country outside India. Yeah. More than 5 states in India. 2 states in India. Come on, 2 states.
3 to NCR, 3 to NCR में है. More than 5
Yeah, of course.
So
I think
today.
Yeah. So we okay. Hands down. Thank you so much. We all have traveled to one place or another. We have been. Somebody has been to 10 different countries. Someone has been 5 different countries. Someone has been 5 different states, 2 states across the world. All right. what is traveling? Traveling is not just about going to different places, but traveling is about, did you come the same person back, or were you a little bit different? Boom. That's mind-boggling. Now I have to reflect back. I went to 10 different countries. Am I coming the same person that I went to that place, or do I have something change in me? I'm not saying that you have broken your hands or or something mishappening, but did you have a change in your perspective? Yes. This is something that we can reflect back. Nachiketa said yes. We have to sit back for that thought and reflect. If I am going across the states, does my thing change or not? Thank you, Lisa. I saw your red card. But yes, we'll talk about more in this session about traveling. But let's start with the prepared speeches. And for that, I would like to invite the first speaker. But even before that, I would like to invite the evaluator of the first speaker, which is TM Namita.
I'll be evaluating the speech for Toastmaster Harsh, who would be presenting his speech from his learning path of engaging humor. It would be his level 2 speech 1, project 1, which would be know your sense of humor. The purpose of the speech is to share a story with humor in it, which is the path that suggests it. And the title of the speech, right? Learning to teach. The title of the speech is Learning to Teach. I'll be evaluating him on the content and structure of the speech and all other aspects of the speech, from body language, facial expressions, vocal variety, and everything. I'll be presenting my report towards the end when called upon by the general evaluator. So back to Toastmaster of the day.
Thank you, Kim. All right, so the first speaker of the day, Harsh. Harsh hails from Indore and currently works in EY as strategy consulting, and other than that, is a very charming guy and has a very good sense of humor. Very good sense of humor. If you happen to meet him after the meeting, of course, you should spend some time with him and get to know. But let's give a huge round of applause for Harsh.
That's a lot of pressure. But anyways, good morning everyone. How's everyone feeling today?
Cold. Great.
Good to know that. If people are still cold, we will bring the warmth in them. Alright, so I went through an experience which I wanted to share with you, but first I want to understand how many of you drive? Alright? And can anyone tell me how they learn driving?
Friend.
Through a friend.
Video games. Friend. Video games?
He's not a good
Father.
Alright.
Trainer.
Taking the keys.
By stealing the keys from my dad, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Absolutely. So we all have different experiences, and all these experiences are special to us in some way or another, right? Now this is something that happened with me too. Now very recently my wife asked me to teach her driving. Now this is one of those moments you cannot goof up. This is one in a lifetime opportunity. This is the first time I will get a chance to teach her something. And I don't want to mess it up. So I started with a very easy process. We started with the know-how of driving, what the car is, what it looks like. And then we started driving in our society areas in itself. You know, the known turns, the known roadblocks, so that it's easy to understand how we drive. And it went perfectly. I was very happy in my process of teaching her. And then I thought, let's take it up a notch. What I did, we started driving outside the society. So one day we were just driving by sector 47 and we were just at the square and we were about to turn a bit right and there was a signal there. So we planned it very specifically. As the light turns green, we will look right and we will turn right. Everyone got the plan? We look right and we turn right. Suddenly there was a city bus that came by us and stood left to us, but we weren't worried about it because we were in the rightmost lane. There was no block. Again, we were still thinking, look right, we turn right. Suddenly, when the light turned green, I started looking right, but I felt a bit uncomfortable because the city bus was kissing my car. and as it was reaching to me to kiss my car, all I was doing is Jai Hanuman Gyan Kul Sakhar, Jai Kapisi Tu Lo Puja. And at that point of time, I saw a white Activa. A white Activa. On that white Activa, sir, there was Ramji driving it. Behind it was Hanumanji. And beside it was my own soul. They all went away as the city bus came close to me. Somehow we relaxed, we backed our car and we parked it sideways. And I was disappointed. I was not disappointed that our car got thrashed or something like that. I was disappointed in myself because she's not driven her car anytime. This was the first time she was driving. It is my responsibility to make her feel safe while driving. It needs to be a special experience. Like our dad, our moms did it for us. But how can I do that? So I thought I'll observe. I'll observe everything. I'll observe what happens, how people react to the teaching, and then I'll change the way of my pedagogy. Now this is what I did. So I thought of generalizing the idea about it. Again, going to the old age and comparing how women learn, how men learn. Right? Everyone has heard a lot about it, so I did the same. Right? I'm not that innovative. So what I did, in a social setting, we were at a wedding and most of my family members were getting ready. I saw that when women get ready, it was not just getting ready, it was a complete project plan. There was how we will be dressing, how will be our makeup, how will be our sandals, and what will be the wow factor there. How will we look different from everyone? And when I looked at the men in my family, where were they?
Finding the perfect.
They were all at the wedding. Why? Because Vidai mein, they need someone. Right? Vidai can't be alone. And then I thought, is this the right observation? I need more instances. I need more inferences. Few weeks passed. We went to few of our friends. We were just visiting home, friends, relatives, office friends, and all those things. And then I tried to understand things a bit more. Now, have you ever been to a home which is, designed differently? The interior decoration is different. Now, I'm not saying better or worse, but different. Every home has a very different vibe in itself. Now, these beautiful creatures, women, are responsible for this. Now, how they design a house? They will first try to understand the direction, the spacing. Should it be minimalistic? Should it be sustainable? Or should it be modern? And that's not it. How the color matches and how the color contrasts. I was talking to a friend, I was saying, let us also, design our home and let's see what. The two guys that I spoke to, what we were able to come up with it, let's create a cave. Let's have some bat in it, right? And we will have a computer which has secrets of all my friends and all my enemies, so that one day I am there and I will grab someone by their collar and say, I am Batman. And I'll throw in an old guy who I have a difficult relationship with and I'll name him Alfred. That's it. That's all what I want. Now this helped. This helped to understand the structure that they bucketize things and then process information. Now what they were doing is these women are already beautiful, but they were using their intelligence to enhance their beauty. How great is that, right? Now then I thought, how do they collect the information? That is also one, how do they understand the information? So I do what all men do. I went to a mall and I started staring at women. Right? This is for God's work. This is for research. I was not just staring at it. Now when I started to look, now I apologize. Women, that men stare at women, right? It's like that Johnny is not always good. Johnny makes mistakes. It's not always Johnny, yes, Papa. Sometimes Johnny sins. So how it works is that, when I saw a woman looking at another woman, it was completely different how men look. You know, it was like two supercomputers scanning each other. They didn't budge. I saw a woman looking at another woman like this. For a second, I got uncomfortable. But what I understood was, they were not only observing, they were processing and bucketizing. They were bucketizing as good, bad, and the gossip. So good is something that they are going to try at home. Bad is something that, you know, they'll say, "Man, tu batai tha." And gossip is something I was able to recall. Suddenly I hear, "Did you see the bangles?" And I was like, "Bangles bhi the?" Yes, haath mein the bangles to nahi honge yahan. And then I understood how they learned driving. What was the problem? Now, these are people, very intelligent people who process complex data. But driving is very simple. It is like eating vanilla ice cream with vanilla syrup in a vanilla cone. You look straight, you drive straight. You look left, you drive straight. Left, right? you see crowd, you drive slow. The road is empty, you drive early. That's it. Now, when we are doing this, well, men are doing this, they do it. But when a woman does that, we need to make sure that some of the features should be switched off. Now, while I drive, I look straight, I drive straight. When my wife looks straight, she's like, "Why that car is in the lane? Why that car is not in the lane? Why are the emergency blinkers on? Why are they moving that way?" And suddenly, the green light, we look right, and we have to turn right, sir. Remember that. We look right, and suddenly we turn right. And that's the problem. So that's how I learned that while I help her to minimize her intelligence, I can help her to be a better driver. And that's how I've learned to teach to drive. Thank you.
Thank you, humor. This is what I was talking about, the humor part, guys. It was like you were telling all of the stories, and we were reliving the stories. And this is what happens when you travel, guys. Not during the travel. When you come back, you relive the memories. But Sachin, why don't you tell me, like, why should I travel? Why can't I just be in my cozy blanket and have Zomato coming to my doorstep and enjoying everything in my home? Why should I even travel? Right? Why not? We love our comfort zone, right? Why should I travel? We all go to the office. We all go to the office, right? Hi, Lincoln, you don't go to the office, okay? So, we all go to the office every day, Monday to Friday. Why do you need the off Saturday and Sunday? You want a break. Our body wants a break. Our mind wants a break. So, that's just the corporate part, office part. But we are more than just a corporate guy. We are more than the office person. We are a human being. We are in the same routine. We are waking up, going to the office, coming back, having dinner, and sleeping, chatting, and blah, blah, blah. We need to break the routine. How would you do so? How would I do so? I would go somewhere outside the office. That's traveling. I would go in the mountains, other than the corporate building, Masters Union. That's traveling. I would go somewhere that will break my routine, my daily structured living, the way of living. That's why you need traveling. Okay, but what else? This is so common. But what else? Why do I need to travel? You need to travel because it teaches you, I don't want to use the word teaches, it lets you learn forced adaptability. What does it mean by forced adaptability? Forced adaptability means if I'm not having idli, if I want to eat idli, but I am not having idli at that restaurant, I can go with a toast and chai. That is forced adaptability. If you're not having a very good room to sleep on, you can just go on a normal hotel and sleep. That's a forced adaptability. We'll talk about more like how things work during the travel, but let's move on to the next speaker. But before that, I would like to call on the second evaluator of the day, which is TM Sanya.
Hello everyone.
So today I will be evaluating Prashant, Toastmaster Prashant, for his speech that is titled Fuel Your Life. He is at the current pathway presentation mastery level 2 and his project 2. So I will be evaluating him on various verbal and non-verbal aspects of communication, which includes his speech overall, how he articulates his speech, how he uses his gestures and body language to convey what he wants to convey with his speech Fuel Your Life. All the best, Prashant.
Thank you, TM Sanya. So TM Prashant is a PM at Gartner, originally from Kanpur and now based in Gurugram. He joined Toastmaster to enhance his public speaking and impromptu skills and to grow with the like-minded community. Outside work, he enjoys reading and traveling, fitness, music, and exploring new experiences. Please welcome TM Prashant. TM Prashant, feel your life, TM Prashant.
Thank you, Toastmaster of the day. Yes, please. Okay, guys, let's start with a question. How many of you, just to get here on a Sunday morning, had to get a cup of coffee or something just to force yourself to here? Can I have a show of hands? Even I did. Okay. Let's expand the question. How many of you, to get through your day, each day, need to get some sort of caffeine or some sort of, stuff like that, just to pass through the day, to get yourself more focused or get the job done? I guess a lot of us, right? And that's the case with me as well, In the mornings, having meeting stand-ups, my face is there on the Zoom call, but my mind is somewhere else completely, right? And if I had to present my mental state at that point, it would be something like this. I mean, I'm looking, I'm hearing, but I'm not able to process anything. I'm not able to focus on the content that is being said, the information that is being given to me. And then I started to understand and ask myself these questions. Why? Why are you tired? You had a perfect sleep, right? 7 to 8 hours of sleep. You didn't use your phone in the morning. You did everything right. Then why are you feeling tired? Why aren't you able to focus, right? It could be a 1 hour session. Today it's a 2 hour session. I'm very sure, at least for me, there will be certain portions where my mind will wander somewhere. I won't be able to grasp 100% of the content that is being presented here. So why is that? So when I dug deeper into these questions, I noticed that it all starts with fueling your body, right? So we talk about discipline, we talk about fitness, we talk about traveling, having experiences, but to power all of this, the most fundamental aspect is your body needs energy. And it's not just what kind of energy, because we have ethanol blending, right, starting. How would, if currently it's at 20%, you already know your car's mileage is going down. What if it goes up to 50? The mileage will come even more down. You won't want that. So why would you want it for your body, right? Having a right diet, having a clean diet is very important. And this diet is not just about, what we see is like fooling ourselves, looking good, but it's also an information mechanism for your brain. So whatever you eat, right, based on the contents, the structure of what you eat, your brain sends those responses into your body. If you have a very carb heavy meal, your body will feel sleepy, right? Why does it do that? Because that's an information loop that goes to your brain. So that's what I'm going to talk about, ladies and gentlemen, the need for having a good balanced diet and how it can improve your life. So there was a study, there have been a lot of studies on the top performers, athletes that have been at the pinnacle of their game. And they had few of the things common in them. These are the 3 superpowers that they had. First one was energy. Michael Phelps, Muhammad Ali, they were always energetic no matter what. Second one was focus. They were singularly focused on what they wanted to do. And finally, it was longevity. It wasn't that one-off thing or week or months preparation that they did. It was years after years after years. So all of these superpowers, it's not very hard to get it. It is possible, just you can control all of this with your diet. Having that energy, having the right diet will stop those afternoon slumps that we have after having a heavy lunch. Having the right diet will fuel your brain instead of giving a brain fog, which I just talked about earlier, like not able to retain information, right? Just going through the motions. And finally, you want a happy, long life where you're able to get what you want. So that is very important to have your diet right. Now, how can we get that right? So I'm giving you a blueprint here, couple of things you could do to instantly get those rewards, to get that difference in your life. The first one is build a better plate. How you could do that? So being from subcontinent, I don't know if it's a luck or sin, that a lot of our diet is carb heavy. There are only few certain portions of protein that we can get. So first of all, what is the I'll go tangentially here, but when a life is created, how is the information passed through from our parents or from generations to us? It's through DNA. What is DNA made of? Amino acids. From where do amino acids come? From protein. So that is the building block of life. So your diet should be protein heavy. Find out sources. If you're a vegetarian, find out what are the sources that can supplement your protein. Have a count. Just don't go with a cup of dal or something. Try and find out what is your protein intake for the day and what is an ideal intake a person of your body weight should have. Second one is, obviously, we know that have your veggies, fibers and greens. This will make sure that your body runs clean, smooth and efficiently. And finally, reduce the boxes. Doesn't matter if it says 100% organic, 100% gluten free. If it's in a box, try and reduce it. And look here, I'm not saying eliminate that. Try and reduce it, because most often than not, it's the most extreme ideas that sound most exciting, but it's usually the most simplest ones that are the most consistent. So try and reduce the processed foods. The second thing what we can do is master your timing. So I wanted to control my diet. I started a plan. I created my breakfast, lunch and dinner schedules, and I started going on that. I was tracking everything. After a couple of months, I evaluated myself to see on how many days was I able to complete whatever I wanted to eat. Was I eating right? And what I noticed was, for morning breakfast, 90 to 95% of what I wanted to eat, I was able to eat. For lunch, this number went down to 80-85%, still okay. But for dinner, it was hovering around 30 to 35%. Because what would happen that I was mentally exhausted by the evening, and instead of preparing whatever I had decided, I would just simply open a food app and just order something. So it is very important to master your timing. So now what I do is, the first meal of the day which I prepare is dinner actually. I just cook it, I keep it in the freezer, and so that in the evening it is already created for me and I just have to eat it. So find your moments. Where is it that you struggle? Where is it that you start eating fast foods? There would be triggers. Try and minimize those triggers and plan for those danger zones. So finally, this is my call to action for each one of you. Do a 7 days challenge and don't do everything I just said. Pick up one item. It could be as simple as having one fruit each day if you're not doing that, and try and do it. See if there is any difference in your whole life or your persona, your power, your focus, and then based on that you can update it. So finally I would like to say is, the fuel on your plate is building your future, and use it wisely. So that's all from me. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you for the advice through your PPTs. Now, whenever we'll look at our plates, we'll think, should I avoid this or should I listen to Prashant's PPT? But here's the thing, guys. This does not go in the shopping part. Actually, you can, if you want to go high on the budget, but if you want to cut short, remember forced adaptability. But of course, you wouldn't be doing that for like the entire year. Sachin, you talked about why should we travel. Why don't you talk about where should I travel? I am in Gurgaon. Where should I travel? I have like a couple of places to go in the mountains. Okay, we can go. Like everybody goes there in Himachal Pradesh. Should I go to the beach, South India, Kerala, Goa? So far, I think that's tight on the budget. So where exactly you should go? That's a very fair point. Where exactly should we go? There are a couple of things to ponder upon. You should go to, of course, there is not one fixed place to go. Mind you, we all are different persons. We have different needs in our thought process. We have different things to figure out. So of course, we wouldn't go to one certain place. Do fast. Where should we go? Okay. There are 3-4 sections where you should go. There are places which humbles you down. That's one of the places you can go. What do you mean by humble me down? When you go to the nature, when you see the mountains, when you see the people living over there, without internet, without Zomato, without Swiggy, without that comfort zone that you're living in, it does humble you down. Oh, these people walk 7 kilometers just to get 3 liters of water. That humbles you down. You can go to places which literally humbles you down. You can go to a place which makes you uncomfortable, like to the place where the other person don't know your language, and you're like mind-boggling thing. How would I even talk to that person? Is not understanding my language, not even English. You should go to that place and make yourself uncomfortable. Where else I can go? You can go to hospitals. You can go to railway stations. Why not? That triggers your thought process that, wow, people are suffering so much and I'm living my privileged life. I should appreciate that. So these are a couple of places you can go to and trigger your thought process. We'll talk more about it, but let's move on to speeches. The third speaker, before I invite the third speaker, let's invite the evaluator of the third speech, which is who is DTM Saurav? Please invite DTM Saurav.
I'll be evaluating Toastmaster Yogesh, and this is his very first speech in Toastmasters. That is an icebreaker speech. And timer, please note the timing is 4 to 6 minutes. And as is this ceremony in Toastmasters, you always encourage someone who has stepped on the stage and giving their very first speech. So we'll be giving a standing ovation at the end of the speech. And all the best to you. Over to you.
Thank you, DTM Saurav. So our third speaker, Yogesh Pandey, he is an executive presence coach who helps professionals become the most confident, charismatic, and influential person in any room they walk into. He is also an author of 2 blueprints, and his work has been seen over 12 million times across the globe. But he believes what he does is far less important than why he does it, so he chose today's topic to be Deserve to Know. Please welcome Yogesh. Team Yogesh deserves to know Team Yogesh.
In 2025, I found myself in a room where life has just ended. It was early morning. You could hear the passerbys. You could see the first beam of sunlight moving through the windows. The dust slowly floating in the air. The one you can only notice when everything is quiet. And that morning, everything was too quiet. I sat there in a corner looking at a man whom I once saw laughing, blessing me, standing with me in family gatherings, and I could not just accept it. I mean, how is it possible? I was looking for a sign of rebellion, maybe to see a breath or to see a finger move. But while I was doing that, something else was happening in that room, something which is unforgettable. people were coming one after another, every single person sharing stories, how that man impacted my life, how he gave me the first job, how he was there when no one else was. But the man who deserved to hear those things was no longer there. So my first invitation to all of you, if you have anyone in your life who has made you smile, who was there when no one else was, with whom you feel like just because he's present there, I am happy even if you're not talking anything, tell them. Give them the flowers of gratitude while they can still smell them. While I was coming back, a question popped up in my mind, not loudly but relentlessly. What is the purpose of a life that can end any time? I might die at 70, I might die on an ordinary Tuesday, or I might die right now, but what will I have achieved? With that thought, I came back. The next morning, everything was arrogantly normal. Phones were ringing, meetings were happening, and I found myself in a Zoom meeting with veterans of the industry, 20, 30 years of experience, dean of the university, and we were discussing what the future curriculum of a university should be. Yesterday I was facing death, the past. Today I am deciding the future of thousands of people. And another thought came up in my mind, why am I even here? These people are experts with such decades of experience. Who am I? Am I just an imposter? Or did I arrive too early? That question was in my mind. And a teacher whom once taught me now was telling me that your analogy of using a football match versus how students learn is something she finds it impressive and she will be using it in future. Or a teacher telling me with decades of experience has retired, but now whenever I tell him I learned so much from you, he says that I learned a lot from you as well. Sometimes the world sees your expansion before your identity catches up. And make sure at that moment you listen to the word. But was I an imposter? The next evening, I was walking in the park, slow evenings, the sun has come down, people are coming out to jog, the dogs are barking, a slow breeze of air is moving by. But I had those questions in my mind. I was battling my own demons. So imagine I'm standing there and a voice is walking behind me. Who are you? What have you even done? You've come a long way from boy you once were, but you're far from a man you always wanted to be. And at that moment, my phone rang. A phone call that will change my life. It was a man whom I met last year. A man around 40 of age with 2 children earning 25,000 rupees a month in Mohali. I could see he was carrying responsibility far heavier than his shoulders could carry. I could see the sorrow in his eyes. I picked up the phone and he told me last time when I met you I was making 25,000. I was like, okay, I knew that. He told me I moved to Gurgaon at double salary. And tomorrow I am appearing for an opportunity which is far greater and I wanted to ask you for advice. And before I could say anything, he said that this would have never happened without you and the food that I bring on my table for family is because of you. For next 10 seconds, my vocabulary disappeared. My thoughts exploded. A man twice my age is thanking me for his survival. That's when I realized one thing. We dramatically underestimate the role we are playing in someone else's story. You might think that you are just speaking a few words of encouragement. You're just opening a door. You're just telling them how good they look. But maybe in their life, you are the pivot. Maybe that's what they always needed. And that became my mission. So today, I help professionals become the most confident, the most charismatic, the most influential version of themselves. Not because I can though, but I've seen that many people are just waiting for a helping hand to come to them so that they can push themselves out of a darkness. And that became my mission, and I could perish myself in that pursuit, so I can help you see that potential, because the world deserves to see your potential. The world deserves to see the ideas only you can bring, the energy only you can carry, the thoughts, the change only you can make. And if I can be a helping hand in that, I will tell you, the world deserves to see it, but more importantly, you deserve to know. Thank you.
Speech, and that makes us realize that we need to be more confident. We need to work on ourselves and get out of the dark that we have been digging for ourselves. Cool, Sachin. So far you have talked about what is traveling, why traveling, where do you want to travel, what next? What next? I mean, Sachin, why don't you tell that how to travel as well? You talked about where to go, which of course I didn't cover all of them. You can be at whatever places you want around the globe, across the globe. I will just remind you what I mentioned, where you can travel so that you just don't forget. You can go to places which challenges you, humbles you down. Some of the places where nobody knows your language. I recently went to South India and people were literally, they didn't know even English or Hindi language, which was very uncomfortable to me. Not all of them, of course, but few villages, they didn't know. And it was very, very challenging for me. At that time, even my English got broken. Anna, where? Wash where? Where? Like, I was just using the verbs. I forgot the noun, pronoun, where did it go? I had learned all of them, but nothing worked. So this is what the traveling does to you. And you can go to the places where you feel, I just started. Humbles you down, of course. And of course, you have to find the peace in that place. So the next part is how do you have to travel? How do you want to travel? First thing first, if you are an early traveler, like at my age, 20, like something, 20, 25 or so, very energetic and power pack, on and go there, trekking and this and that, and trying all the different cafes. You can, but I'm sure 5 years down the line, you wouldn't be taking the checklist. Damn sure, you'll be so tired. So I'm talking about like 3-4 years down the line, stop checking the checklist. Oh, cafe, this cafe done, this trekking done. I had to just go there and click a picture from that cliff. Done. Slow down, slow down, slow down. You have to just go there first. And I'm gonna tell you why we do that. Why do we have to do the checklist thing, all of the same things in a single trip? I will talk about why. Why exactly do we have that intuition? But before that, let's go for the last speaker. And before inviting the speaker, let's invite the evaluator, and which is Steve Ishita.
Hi everyone. Ashish Garg is going to present his Project 4 speech from Presentation Mastery Level 1. What I'm going to look in his speech would be how effectively did the speaker apply the specific suggestions given to him earlier. Was the speech well organized and with a clear purpose? Did the speaker use their voice and physical presence to enhance the message? And how well did the speaker connect with us today compared to earlier? Thank you.
So our next speaker, Team Ashish, believes that growth begins outside comfort zones. With 11 years of working with a consulting firm, he brings a global mindset rooted in local values. Today he takes us back to 2014 on a journey that taught him a lesson no app ever could. Please welcome Toastmaster Ashish Garg with his speech. GM Ashish, Travel Beyond Limits. Travel Beyond Limits. GM
Thank you.
Ashish.
Thank you.
Let me take you back. Not 50 years, just 12 years. It was a time when I was entering into the corporate world. And before I enter into the corporate world, I'll share my story, how I take this plunge and how I navigated this. Imagine a world with no cell phones, or cell phones with no Google Maps, no Ola, no Uber. And you completely land into a new city where you trust yourself more than anyone else. And this was the time when people used to travel with printed tickets and handwritten notes for directions. And most importantly, faith on yourself. That was the story of me when I got an interview call from Shell India for Chennai location. And that day I discovered that traveling is the real interview in the life. Good morning, fellow Toastmaster, distinguished guests. I am Ashish. By profession, I am a chartered accountant, helping corporates in navigating complex international tax problems. Let me begin my journey. I already had 3 years of experience in the helping MSMEs in the taxation problems, but I want to navigate from that. And suddenly a call came from Shell India. An interview fixed for Chennai location. Exciting? Yes. Nervous? Of course. I stepped out of my comfort zone and life had planned something baptism in my life. I stepped out of an airport. I saw a huge crowd going to a particular direction. On a closer look, I saw world champion Vishwanathan Anand. But believe me, I had no time. I had to rush for an interview. Time clock is running behind me. I catch the first taxi I saw. And believe me, without bargaining, a North Indian without bargaining. While I had 1 hour left for my interview, but sometimes man proposes, God disposes. Lot of safety checks, security instructions and formalities. It took almost 50 minutes time to check in. And then HR directed me to go upstairs directly to the interview room. After an hour of grilling, professional panel and all, I came outside from the interview hall. And the real lesson of the interview is waiting for me. HR again directed me, go to the cafeteria. I entered into the cafeteria. Aroma of idli, sambar, rasams. Has anyone from South Indian here?
Actually visited.
Stayed for 5 years.
Yeah, lived there.
Wonderful. So pardon me, this was just my first experience. I saw employees were crushing idlis, mixing sambars and rasams and having it from both the hands. And I am the one from North Indian and I am whispering in my mind, looking at my plate, bhai, spoon kahan hai? And here comes the powerful message for me. I saw that employees wearing dhotis, tikas on their foreheads, and even they are on the all traditional attire. Bringing cultural mix with the global standards. They are working in an international company. And I found that day that how can you keep your legacy intact even if you are working in the MNC companies. You can bind your culture with the global values. So the combination of global versus local, that is something which drives excellence from us. That day, why I explored the city, and from last 3 decades, I traveled many places. But I always used to say that wherever you go, you always go with your values, with your culture. And when you are, your authenticity, your originality will remain. You always look faithful to the people, trustworthy to the people. While I hit the road many a times, but most of the times, the road within yourself decides your journey. That's it. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Team Ashish. For a while, like for 30 seconds, I was back to back to Kerala that I just came like last week. Wow. Thanks, Ashish, once again for sending me there, and it was a really nice experience. And talk about my story sometime later in one of the speeches. But for now, Sachin, again, let's go back. What is traveling good? Okay. Why traveling good? Where to travel good? How to travel? Okay, how to travel. You don't have to do the checklist. Okay, Sachin, I don't have to do the checklist. But if not, then what should I do? Fair point. If I'm going somewhere, I'm going to Himachal. Why shouldn't I do? Why shouldn't I go to the very famous cafe over there? Or if I'm going to say South India, say I'm going to Kerala. Why shouldn't I go to Cafe Sarva, which is very famous, very famous. You just see already very famous. Why shouldn't I do that? Why do we have that tendency to do everything in one trip? Today happened something beautiful thing to me, like really beautiful. I am a team OD for the day, and my topic was traveling, which I decided like 2-3 days back. Today in the newspaper, India Express, there is actually an article about traveling, and it says, why wait? There's a magazine, like on Sunday, you get a magazine along with the paper, and he was literally saying, why wait? And when I saw that, I was like, dude, isn't it Instagram? Instagram listens to our voices and our intuition. So Indian Express has been doing something what? Like listening to our thought process. So, and that actually answers the question that we think, why do you have to do the checklist, all of them in a single trip? Because we don't go to the same place quite often. We pressurize ourselves, put all the burden on ourselves to relieving just one single trip. For an entire year, you have been not doing anything, and for 3 days that you are going to Himachal, you think, oh, I'm gonna feel all the nature. Wow, I'm so good. This is so good. I have to take all the air back to Gurgaon so that I would not feel the AQI there. No, this is not how it works. And that article was telling such a beautiful thing. He did a 30-day challenge where he went to 30 different restaurants each day. When I say restaurant, does not mean like he went to Taj or Hilton or any places, to different places and spend that money. He went to 30 different places to try different food. And then he correlated this with traveling. We've been waiting for like 6 months just to go for a 4-day trip, and we put all of the burden of the next 6 months that, hey, I have to go there in 4 days and I have to use all of my clothes, all of my accessories, and I have to have a lot of money just for this. How is it possible? Not at all. What should we do? What should we do? 12 months, instead of going for 4 days after 6 months or 8 months, why don't we just go for 2 days every 3 months? That's called divide and experience. That is traveling. It's not about going there and taking the checklist and it's done. I'll just sum up whatever we experienced today about traveling, which I know everybody has a different version of it. So it was like one arrow and different targets, and all the targets have their different way of receiving those arrow, that one arrow. You all have different versions of your traveling experiences, the way you want to travel, the way you want to go there and feel about yourself, about the world, about people, anything. You all have different versions. What I did today, I didn't do any mind-boggling thing here. I just summed it up. So what is traveling? Why you travel? Where to travel? And how to travel. I hope you go back and next time when you are going somewhere, not just for 2-3 days, over 6 months, go there often. You don't have to pack your bags for like 10 dresses for just one trip. You can like 2 dress for 2 days trip, quick trip, come back, experience, new thing, be more uncomfortable. Why, Sachin, why do I have to be uncomfortable? You are coming to a semester to learn public speaking. How would you be a good public speaker? You would come here and you would be uncomfortable. You see the relation? Forced adaptability. When you are forced to come on a stage and you have to address 400 different people, you are becoming uncomfortable. If you'd have been uncomfortable back in your traveling days, you'd be more confident about yourself and come here and talk to people. That's all for today, traveling thing. I'm done with my section. Let's invite our next section of the day, which is TTM, table topic. And let's invite GTM Saurav for today's session.
Thank you. Welcome to the second section of the meeting, which is going to be organized chaos. And you'll be invited. Let me just state the rules of the game that we're playing. Welcome. In this segment, both guests and members can participate. You'll be given 1 to 2 minutes to speak with buffer of 30 seconds over that. Other than that, I'll be either giving you a question or a statement. So you can either invent something on the stage, just describe it, or create a story, or maybe share your experience based on that. So it will be very simple, and we'll be looking forward to what you come up with. All the unexpected goodies. It is all related to travel as such. I'll try to keep it as closely as possible to that. With that being said, let's invite on stage a guest, a member first, and then we'll be going to the guests. Any member? Just wait. So I have a question for you, and the question goes, what is the most unnecessary thing you have packed for a trip?
A year back, exactly I remember it was close to the Valentine's week, 12th of February last year, I got my visa approved for Japan. And like all mothers, my mother decided to come and help me in my packing. I told my mother, I'm 30 years old plus I can pack my own bags. She's like, no, you're still a kid, in front of my eyes. So my mother came and she started packing my bag. I had no clue what was being packed. Just like how Nat Geo says, always know what is in your bag, but I didn't know what was in my bag. On the day of my travel, I took these 2 bags with me and I walked into the Indira Gandhi T3 terminal. A beautiful lady, the ground hostess welcomed me, saying, Sayonara, hajimemashite, please come, put your luggage here. And it went through the scanner. I didn't know what is in my bag. I just knew there are a few clothes in the bag. And the buzzer buzzed. Boop, 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 boop. It's like there's something in your bag. Sorry for my pronunciation. But she said, there's something in your bag which is illegal. I said, what? Illegal? I said, no, there's nothing illegal. She's like, no, there is something illegal in your bag which the Japan government doesn't allow. I was like, no, everything is legal. I'm a law-abiding citizen of the country. So she said, let's open your bag. I said, please don't do that, because my mother had made me sit on the bag to pack it up fully. Somehow we opened the bag. And to my surprise, there was a box of achar. The tasty homemade achar that my mother had packed with me with all the love. That fellow was so bad. You know, Japanese people are known to be kind. I said, let's share the achar. You take half, I take half. Let me go to Japan. He said, no, this is not allowed in that country. You cannot carry. So I had 2 bottles of achar and 1 rasgulla. All the things he didn't allow me. Unfortunately, I had to give it to that sweet lady over there. I said, this is my address, please give it back to my mother. And those rasgullas, what I did was I distributed to all the people who were at the airport, and I told them, I'm going for my first international trip. Please enjoy these rasgullas.
Okay. Most unnecessary yet most out of love. Now we'll be inviting on stage our guest. Any takers, please. So the question I have for you is, you're sent on a free trip, but only a place you have already been to. Where and why?
I've been on a trip. I've been sent to a trip.
You are sent to a free trip, but only to a place where you already have been to. Where and why?
Sure. So, I was on an office assignment to Kashmir, and I had already been to Kashmir at least 2 times, and still I wanted to make the most of that trip. So I decided to interact with the locals, understand their culture, delicacies, etc. My father had recently at that time bought me a handy cam. It was very much in fashion. Today we have smartphones, but back in the day, a handy cam was very dear to a child. So I tried to make as many videos as possible of the locals. Considering that I had already explored most of the city, I was not much into photography at that time, and I shot only the roadsides and the greenery. The best way would have been to shoot the photos of locals, their dressing style, their outfit, attire and everything. So I couldn't enjoy much, but that was the moment when I got to literally interact with the locals and understand the culture, which is completely different from mine. So that was the experience, and I tried to make the most of it.
Thank you. Now we'll be inviting on stage a member. So your situation is, describe a trip where everything went wrong, but you laugh about it now. Should I repeat?
No, thank you.
Hi everyone, my name is Ishita, and my topic is describe the speech where everything went wrong, and I'm still back. 2 minutes? 2 seconds. 2 seconds. Alright. So it was my first time in Canada. My best friend had shifted there. She's gotten the PR, and she stays there. So I just went there to visit her. So it was like all girls trip, and now I think about it, the only time we have gone on a trip was on Goa once, but this was our second trip in like 4 years. We were going to this place called Banff, and it was beautiful. The rivers and the lakes were blue, snow-covered mountains. They were beautiful, pine trees across. At every place I wanted to stop and take a picture, but in Canada it is not allowed that you just can park your car on the side of the road and just take pictures. And she was very adamant about it, that we are not stopping. And I was expecting that, oh, we are traveling. This is my first time in Canada, and I'm going to roam around, and I'll be free and explore. But she had a tight schedule. That this time we have to reach to that restaurant. This is the time we will rent the car. This is the reservation, and it just ruined everything because I wanted to be free, and she was trying to confine me into her schedule. And she's a bit of a control freak. But at the end, when we reached to that place made everything worth it. We were just silent there, standing in front of a blue, clear water lake. It was just so serene. We were cold because it was all snow and it was minus 30 degrees at that time. And somehow the water was still water. It was not like a covered lake. I don't know why, but the sunlight was such great and serene that we sat there and we laughed at what we were doing the entire drive. A great trip and a great memory. Thank you.
I was expecting someone to go to the ER. But anyways, let's invite on stage a guest. So your question is, what's one culture habit abroad that shocked and amused you? I'll repeat again. What is one culture habit abroad that shocked and amused you?
So just to give a context, I haven't been outside India. For me, abroad meant when I went to
outside of your
Mumbai. I went to Mumbai to study. I was there for a year. And the biggest cultural shock for me, being in Mumbai, being a delight, was being comfortable in your own space. Being delights, we have a slightly bad habit that we really want to know what is going on with our neighbors. We want to know what is going on with everyone else. And more often than not, we end up investing more time in what is happening with others than what happens with ourselves. And Mumbai really changed my habit. For the first time, I realized that I really do not have to be with anyone for a good company. I can travel and I can just explore things out of my own without any company. For the first time, I was just roaming around, barely, out of my parents' comforts for the first time in my life. I was traveling through the locals. I was just sitting on the empty locals, which is a bliss in Mumbai. Trust me, morning schedules who has gone through, empty train seats are a bliss. I would just sit by there. I would explore cafes randomly. Didn't have money, but just went there, had some water, came out, but it really changed me. And so the cultural shock of always being in others' company to exploring something on your own was really eye-opening and really helped me become who I am today. So, yeah, thank you.
Sounds very transformative. Now we'll be closing soon with 2 more topics. First, let's invite a member now. Any member? Yes. Okay, let's go to the guest. Anyone? So your topic is Windows or IL and why the other is wrong. I repeat, Windows seat or IL and why the other is wrong.
Okay, so good morning all of you. I am Ruchit Kumar and the topic is window seat or aisle, which one is actually wrong and why. So as per my journey experience, I pointed out like aisle seat is like a wrong seat. Why? Because whenever there is a long journey, people can't sit at their place. They need to actually go and check what is happening at the other seats. Some people are there, and also the people need to have a very much break, that is by break. No one can actually deny that. No one can stop it. So I think yes, the aisle seat is the wrong seat, and that's all.
Thank you. I agree with them. The window seat is the best seat because you can sleep like this. Now our final speaker. Anyone? Okay. So September. Throw something interesting for you. What's something tourists do that make locals eye roll? Okay. Again, I'll repeat. What is something that tourists do that makes a local's eye roll?
What about your personal experience?
So I remember the time, I think 3 months back I went to Thailand and there was a place, Khao Sok. So I went to Khao Sok National Park and I was interacting with a lot of foreigners over there. And there was a person from Japan. So he was, we were exploring the forest in the night time. So we had a guide. He was like a typical humble Thai person who doesn't talk much, who only talk when it is necessary. So there was a Japanese fellow. He was walking like this. He was observing and he was responding. Whenever he come up with some question, he would ask the guide. And then there was an Italian guy who was with his group. So there were 4-5 people, and they were talking very loudly. Whenever they find something, let's say they find a snake, crawling across, they'll go and they'll try taking videos and photos. They'll try to be part of that photo as well. So when the guide was listening to them, he was rolling his eyes, right? Because I think Thai culture is more similar to the Japanese culture. They are quiet, they are reserved, they require their own personal space. And I was walking, I was trying to blend, with the people. Meanwhile, Indians are quite talkative. So was I, but I was trying to maintain the decorum over there. But looking at the people from Italy, they weren't caring at all. They were talking loudly, they were speaking like crazy, they were taking photos, they were laughing. It didn't feel like we were exploring the evergreen in the night. So yeah, that's all. Thank you.
Looks like we have found our match in Italians. With that, I'll be closing today's session. I hope you enjoyed, and we'll be breaking for a short break for 5 minutes, and we'll be back again. Thank
But what a great start that Toastmaster Harsh provided. He started with engaging the audience, started with the questions, a very natural start. How's the day going? Rubbing his hands. So very well done on that. You got the audience's attention with that. And you took that to another level with your courageous banter on your own wife. Very well done. And an amazing humorous tactic. I wouldn't comment on your wife being in the same room. But that's the risk that you took. It really went up when you added the picturization of the road, the car, the bus, the Activa, even adding the spirituality in that with Lord Ram and Hanuman. And from the fear of chanting the Hanuman Chalisa, you transitioned to taking the responsibility to teach. A very smooth transition. All was going well so far, but I did feel that from that scene, a slouch came in when you took that to the dressing and the interior designing part, which could have been slightly improved. To just continue that banter. Because that, I felt, got a little more technical and was not at the same intensity that your speech was carrying at the beginning. Again, you got back on track when you were in the mall scene. Again, the audience was engaged to that extent. But I would still say that slouch could have been avoided because you had put in a lot of things in your one speech. Could have restricted to just the road scene and the mall scene with avoiding the technicalities in between. That adds up the humor. Another point, you used very strong punches. That again, you can add more of it to reduce the topics, but emphasize more on just the two topics that you are choosing. Another point of recommendation would be your natural Hindi commenting in a Toastmasters platform, we recommend that you stick to the English usage of the language, and if you are using regional languages, just add the translation right after. But that came very natural in your speech. So that's a recommendation that you can do when you are even going up for the contests. Another point on the body language aspect, I noticed that your one hand during the speech went in your pocket. Try avoiding that, because that's not a very confident body language that we would want to see in a speaker. Overall, the entire speech had the humor that the audience really enjoyed. And like every speech has a point to make, your point was to learn, to teach. And that message came stronger towards the end. It could have been more stronger with the content that you could have used and constrained it to just the two topics which were very strong in your speech. That will be all. Just continue on these recommendations and it will be a very good humorous journey with you. Thank you.
Alisha, नाम आपने WhatsApp कर दिया आशीष को?
Okay, thank you so much, Namita, for the amazing evaluation. While you did give recommendations, maybe you could have summed up with a few more commendations that would have completed this circle. For Harsh, I just want to add on to what she was saying. I think it's just in continuation, just one line. I think you wanted to complete the circle by starting with driving, going on to the getting ready part and the interior part. But I think somewhere the two stories after the driving part did not circle back to the driving part. I think that was missing. Second thing which I felt was your topic was learning to teach. I think you did not give the teachings at the end, which you could have actually summarized using the driving story. So that's just 2 cents on it. And one on the delivery side as well. I think the pauses were missing. When you hit a punch, pause, let it digest, then move on. I think that pause was missing. That's the only suggestion that I have. But congratulations on completing this project and looking forward to many more. Moving forward to the second speaker, Prashant, who was evaluated by Sanya. Can I call Sanya on stage, please?
So Prashant, your speech was Fuel Your Life, an amazing speech. Very mind-opening facts which we miss out on our daily lives, and surely I have a lot of things to take from the speech. Now there were a couple of things that worked out really well for you, starting with the engagement. So when you started the speech, it was with 2 questions and then a humorous image to which the audience reacted and was instantly hooked to, oh my god, what are you trying to speak next? The information was on point and well researched and well polished. It was not a random fact that you were throwing. It was appropriate, not too much, not too less. The structure was very well articulated. They were again not random facts, in a proper flow that you tried to present. I really loved your body language of how you maintained the eye contact and the smile and the engagement with the audience. Despite running a presentation and holding a pointer in your hand, you used the entire stage space and you were very comfortable with the movements. There were a couple of points which I feel is where you can work on. While the flow of presentation was really good, there were a couple of parts of the speeches, right? 3-4 different parts. Switching from one part to the other part looked a little flat. So you could have taken a couple of pauses or maybe a filler slide to let the audience absorb one part before you move on to the next one. So for example, the last one was a 7-day challenge. So before randomly moving to that slide, you could have told the audience that, okay, this is what we do in our daily lives. But here is something which I'm going to share with you. This is going to change your life if you take up this challenge. You know, like a filler something before moving to the last slide. Then the second part was how to keep the audience engaged while you're presenting. So what I noticed was in a particular part, so let's say for example fueling strategy, there were 2 parts, build a better plate and master timing, right? So when you came to this part, fueling strategy, you demonstrated everything in the slide that you wanted to say, all the 2 points together. So what this does is, this makes the audience read those 2 points instead of listening to you, right? So the thumb rule can be use 1 point per slide. Don't reveal the entire thing you want to say. Rather have a relatable image that keeps the audience wanting to hear more, right? So 1 point, 1 image, and then you speak the content. Second point, second slide, and then wanting to image. Another thing which you could have done better was maybe use a personal anecdote or journey of a person to follow the entire thing while you were talking about in your speech. But overall, it was a great speech, very eye-opening.
Okay. Thank you so much, Tanya. It was very well analyzed, and you gave a suggestion in your recommendation, which was really good. Congratulations on that. Just to add on to the evaluation, I think two good commendations or commendations part. The topic you chose was very relevant. I think everyone could relate to, especially in these days. Everyone is focused on a healthy diet. So very well done on that, and it was very informative. That was also very well done. On the storyline part, as she mentioned, just to add on, maybe putting it in a personal thing that I was, I weighed so much. I changed my diet and I started weighing this much. That's the change I see. That relates with everyone. So I think with a personal anecdote, personal story, it makes a little more better for the audience to understand it. Another thing, I think you had excessive gestures. I think you could control your hand movement a little. It could be because of the slides, but I think your movement was quite dampened. Just try to reduce that a little. Moving forward to the third speaker, Yogesh. He was.
I think he talked about DNA. Yeah? You mentioned about DNA made up of amino acids. No. DNAs are made of nucleic acids. Proteins are made up of amino acids.
Factually also you were incorrect, I'm so sorry. Okay. Moving on to the third speaker, Yogesh. If Saurabh is evaluating it, come on stage, please.
So Yogesh delivered his very first speech as an icebreaker, and this is a very good opportunity to discover your skill set and as well as to know more about you. So that's what we were trying to understand today. So I'll break your evaluation into two parts, delivery and content. So let me start with the delivery aspect. What I really liked was that you're already quite polished in terms of the variations you can throw in terms of vocals, that be it the range, be it the emotions that requires a dropping and also the pacing part. I think you did that wonderfully. And also I could see that dramatization, like you went into a character and you became a little bit louder, and the changes and the emotional changes and variations. I think you're quite comfortable with that, so that is really well done. One thing I would like you to avoid is, maybe it is because of anxiety, you're swooning a lot on stage. That is very distracting in nature. And also I understand it is because of the anxiety that builds up here, trying to dissipate it somehow. But be more mindful of the strolling. Now let's look at the content. What I observed about your speech was the juxtaposition. We were trying to picture what was and what you are. So that juxtaposition you're trying to bring that forward. What I really liked about the delivery part, the content part, is the small details which actually paints a picture, where you're trying to describe some kind of I'll give you an example. The wind was blowing and it was mild, and I could see the sunlight which was orange. So these kind of small details that you brought. So that actually painted a very beautiful picture. Also, about the structure of the speech, I think it was more abstract. So it would be generally a little harder for people to follow in terms of the design of it. Other than that, what I also observed was when you started off your speech, I was expecting some kind of hook. The hook is to draw the attention of the audience. So it can be anything, a question, a ridiculous statement, or some kind of something to draw attention. You just started off. So that was the observation. As this is a very specific to this particular speech, as this is an icebreaker speech, people would like to know about yourself, I mean about you. So the whole journey was missing. We did not know who Yogesh was as a child, how his journey was as an adult, and then now. So that chronological space would have been much more useful, so that we would have known more about you. that it is just an introduction. Icebreakers are little introduction. But yeah, this is not something which is for other speeches, but specifically for icebreakers. Just to summarize, I would say, good. I think you have a good mix of delivery skills and the picture you are able to paint with the small detail. I think you have done that quite well. I think just the origin story which was missing in today's speech, if that can be something that we can look at and improve the structure, I think it's all good to go.
Thank you so much. I had exactly the same commendations and recommendations as Saurabh, which I just showed to him. Very well done. Just a recommendation for you, Saurabh. The recommendation you gave to him, you also need to practice this. Don't move around while giving your That's the only recommendation I have. That we'll move on to the last speaker, Ashish, will be evaluated by Ishita. If you can come on stage, please.
All right, Ashish. First of all, congratulations on completing your level 1 project 4 speech for presentation mastery. You started with transporting us back to your first job where you had to move out of your comfort zone to a new city with cultural shock that created the immediate nostalgia. Talking about cultural shock, that demonstrated adaptability and personal growth that everyone who has ever dreamt of or left their hometown to go to a new country or new city, they could relate to that struggle. Very good sophisticated phrases that you used. One was, man proposes, God disposes. That actually showed that things don't go according to our plan. Overall, you were very calm, confident, you were grounded, and you were able to connect to the audience pretty well. Few observations. While you used the stage, your movement felt incidental. They were not very intentional. Try to move only when you are transitioning the scene or point in your story where you want to maybe stress upon a point. Second, the speech ended somewhat abruptly for me. Strong conclusion should circle back to your opening theme maybe, in reinforcing the purpose of the speech that audience could also relate to. And quick, you can maybe challenge yourself as you go in your new projects. You can challenge yourself on varying between highs and lows of your notes of your voice. For like excitement, you can show that excitement. Then tone shifting, like I think Saurabh also mentioned about adding more emotional color to your vocal variety. And then few moments require pacing your speech a bit, like the way you speak, maybe you're trying to paint a picture, you can pace your words a bit more. Apart from that, I think you came on very confident. You tried to picturize the cultural shock with the dhotis and the appearance of the people and their food. So it was amazing because we were there with you. So thank you for sharing your journey with us, and all the best.
See Saurabh how it's done, standing at one place. Okay. Thank you so much for the lovely evaluation, Ishita. Just one other suggestion that I have for Ashish. You had clasped hands in between for a long time. Just try to change that. If you really want to clasp your hands, instead of having normal clasping, try a power symbol, which is clasping it in such a way. It's just more positive than negative. Other than that, just to take one more cue from Ishita's evaluation, she said there was a missing purpose. Just keep in mind that every speech has two purposes, general purpose and specific purpose. That should come out in your conclusion. So general should be throughout the speech, specific should come out in your conclusion. I think the specific part was missing. Just work on that. I think you'll be one more thing. I have seen many speeches of yours in the past. The growth that I've seen over the last maybe a year or so has been tremendous. From probably a level down to the next level where you are. even in your fluency, even in your posture, your confidence, everything has stepped up. And I think just one more notch up, and you'll be right there. Congratulations on completing your next plan. Moving on to the entire. Okay, no. Before that, we'll go on to the supplementary evaluators. We'll start with the grammarian Ishita. If you can come on stage again.
Right, so congratulations, nobody used Imperious or Played by the Year, which were our word of the day and idiom of the day. Maybe I made it a bit hard, but I think Played by the Year could have been used by you. Because you were talking about spontaneity and improvisation, so yeah, no worries. There were a few really good phrases. Humbles you down, and the way you said it also actually showed you being humble, so great job on that. Arrogantly normal, I think you used it. It was amazing. That I think Yogesh used it. That showed the irony of the situation beautifully. Team Prashant used perish. That's a nice word, and just everybody was very on point with their grammar, their tenses, their sentence formation. Just one quick thing that I noticed was you always looks. It's not you always looks. You always look. That's a small thing that I saw. Apart from that, yeah, good job everyone. Thank you.
Thank you. Moving on, I'll step into the shoes of the R counter. I was too focused on the other aspects of the speech, but I've got a few. I'll start with the Toastmaster of the day, Sachin. You had a few minor and a few major R's and ums. After 8, I stopped talking. I'm so sorry. Repetition was witches, and but was a word that we use quite often. Try avoiding that. General evaluator, stupendous, flawless. Grammarian, initially nil. I think the second part we didn't count. R counter again. Timer we are yet to come to. Harsh, the first speaker. 2 R's and 1 soap. You had 2 more words, right and you know, which you use quite often. Try to avoid, not often, 1 each. Prashant, the second speaker, you had 6 R's, 1 you know, 3 so's, 1 like. Yogesh was flawless, congratulations on that. Ashish, and I tried quite hard on this. Ashish was 1 R, again, very good. Namita was 2 so's, Sanya 5 R's and 2 so's. I didn't do this, it was him. Please get back at him. Saurabh, 2 R's. Ishita again, flawless. Table topic master, I think we all missed it, so it was flawless. First speaker, Jaspreet. First table topic speaker, Jaspreet, you had 2 R's. The lady in blue, Swati. Yeah. So 1 R and 3 so's. Ishita, as a table topic speaker, you had 3 R's, 2 arms, 1 you know, and 1 repetition. Priyank, as a table topic speaker, you had 1 R, 1 3 you knows, and 1 and. Uchit, I think you were flawless. Satyam, you had 1 R, 2 so's. And again, Nachiketa at the end, flawless.
I have written down.
Yeah, you have. Flawless. Okay, moving on to the timer. Alisha, if you come on stage, please.
So I'm ready with my report. Starting with speaker, Harsh, 8 minutes 46 seconds. Prashant, again 8 minutes. Yogesh, 6 minutes 20 seconds. Ashish, 5 minutes 44 seconds. Evaluator, Namita, 4 minutes 19 seconds.
She always beats the time. Next time, Nachiketa, if she does, then she has.
Sanya, 2 minutes 36 seconds. Saurabh, 3 minutes. Ishita, 2 minutes 129 seconds. Starting with table topic speaker. Satyam, 1 minute 43 seconds. Ishita, 2 minutes 10 seconds. Guest Mati, 1 minute 12 seconds. Jaspreet, 2 minutes 14 seconds. Priyank, 1 minute 36 seconds. Uchit, 50 seconds. So, thank you.
Okay, the last one, active listener.
You will be participating or you will be taking?
He will be participating.
He will be participating.
Huh?
I'll be commenting.
You will be commenting. Okay, so I'll take the score.
Okay, you want me to take the score? I'll take the score.
So there were a lot of talks about travel, a lot of exotic places, Japan, South India. So we'll have something very basic and down to earth. We have two teams, Team Haryana Roadways and Team Mumbai Local. So the task is very simple. I'll ask you questions and you don't have to raise hand. I will ask the most confused face that I see in the crowd. And each correct answer gives you 10 points. Each unanswered question gives you -20. My game, my rules. So
That's why you need a calculator.
That's why you're not using it. Be ready to do the thumbnail thing. I'll let teachers today.
okay, so first question to Haryana Roadways. I will ask Alisha. What is the word of the day and use it in a sentence? Don't
take.
No, Alisha has to say. Word of the day and use it in a sentence.
-40
Use it in a sentence.
-40 5 points.
So -20 to I move on to Yogesh, can you use it in a sentence?
The word of the day was imperious.
अभी तो देख ही लिया होगा.
Use your imperious voice whenever needed.
You are just there to write.
No.
My game, my rules, -20.
मेरा पेन खराब हो गया ना. बड़ी बदवा बढ़िया पेन.
Mumbai Local, their first question. Yes. What was the level and pathway of Toastmaster Ashish? What was the level and pathway of the speech given by Toastmaster Ashish?
Ashish, the person you came
हमें पता है क्या है.
No, negative.
हम बता सकते हैं.
Sachin?
Level 1, project 4.
Level 1.
Yes.
No, it's not
Pathway.
Project mastery.
It's not entirely correct. Still. Second speech. It was second speech.
It's fourth speech.
Fourth project की second speech.
नहीं first
Project
Okay, guys. Back to the
Their first speech है.
Haryana Roadways.
बोल के -20 हमारे +10.
Yes. So both are -10 now.
My game, my rule. Alisha red card दिला दे.
Okay, Satyam. According to TM Sachin, what are the two kind of places which we should travel?
Railway station.
अरे नहीं बनाने नहीं है भाई.
-40.
100 से start.
Where
Tick 1.
learn something.
नहीं.
When you become a better version of yourself.
That's one. That is one.
That is one. And where you feel peaceful. When you feel
Correct.
नहीं.
Yes, Sanya. Please take a drive now. Okay. -20 and 0. Means they didn't get a bonus.
Yeah.
He didn't answer.
He didn't answer.
Yeah, na.
Answer.
Alisha, red card.
You're also struggling. Places which humble you down and places which make you uncomfortable.
तो वही तो बोला.
नहीं बोला.
हमने बोला उसने.
He said Thailand.
Thailand तो उसने बंद कर दिया.
You're on the right.
हाँ चल ठीक है.
हाफ तो दे दो.
नहीं.
So, Toastmaster, just breathe.
अरे वो
I will be confused.
What is the idiom of the day and use it in a sentence?
अरे हो गया ना?
Word of the day.
Idiom of the day.
Word of the day.
Idiom of the day.
It was not. No, he wasn't in this.
He repeated, na?
I repeated it.
He repeated it.
Repeat the last one.
Don't ask me questions, please. I don't answer.
Minus 20.
Minus 20. Minus 20.
Play by the rules, no? Play by the year.
Okay, so answer करेगी bonus. अरे bonus point तो
Played by the ear.
No, you don't have to answer it now.
Handle situation by the ear.
Very nice. No,
Almost here तो सही बोला.
Okay, so both teams have minus 30, both teams are tied.
Thank you. Okay. Thank God no one has to Gangnam Style. But then moving forward to the overall evaluation of today's meeting. We started a few minutes late, 10:33. It's okay. We are finishing on time. The Sergeant at Arms, the first person on stage, started with an activity very well done. You told the mission and the ground rules. That was exactly the role. Congratulations and well done. Let's have a big round of applause. Moving forward to the President, you explained the structure of the meeting and introduced the guests. Just one suggestion, talk about Toastmasters. You should tell about Toastmasters as well as the club, which was missing, but very well done. Moving forward to the Toastmaster of the day, you started with a fantastic topic, traveling, which everyone could relate to. Everyone was engaged throughout, and you absolutely were point on the gaps in between the first section. You did the role absolutely the way a teamwork's role is supposed to be done. Congratulations, and let's have a huge round of applause for the Toastmaster. The favorite topic master of the day, Saurabh, you gave the rules. The topics were not yours, were of Namita, so we'll give her the applause, not you. But well done, congratulations. With this, I think I have 5 broad subjects which I would like to talk about. One, the agenda. If we are not able to fill the agenda, please at least ensure that while we are in the first few days of the week, the roles are taken. If there is a backout, there should be only 1 or 2 empty slots, not about 10 of them like we had today. The order of the speakers should be in an ascending order. The icebreaker should be first, followed by the seniority of the speeches, because if the icebreaking speech or a speaker sees a veteran speak first, his confidence gets moved. So try to have that ascending order. Third, there was a phone call in between, disturbed everyone. Quite a few people turned and looked. Please avoid using your phones during the meeting. There was continuous cross-talking, which continues even now with the same person. Unfortunately, not even involved, doesn't even move. Don't do cross-talking while the speech is going on. In between, it's okay, but just avoid it so that it doesn't disturb the speech. Another big thing which was missing throughout the meeting was applause. A Toastmasters meeting is usually full of applauses, and not applauses but loud applauses. So please do it with a free heart, open heart, and do it generously. Let's try it once. Namita.
That was a wonderful evaluation. Thank you, Toastmaster Nachiketa, for gracing us and blessing us today with your general evaluation. Deliberately, when I got to know that you are coming and you wanted to take up a role, I deliberately gave you the general evaluator role because I wanted this kind of evaluation. So thank you, and please try to be
regular.
Come more in our meetings so that everyone can learn from you. All right. So we are towards the end of the session. We have the feedback forms on your WhatsApp group, so please look into your phones and give the votes for the role players that we had. Should we do a hands up by?
Yes.
तुम्हारा वोट कर दिया ना तुम इतना सबमिट तो करो.
This is one problem I noticed in the form. I think that's okay. So G is not an auxiliary role. G should be within the role player. Not sure how we can correct that. It's correct right now. Okay. So to fill in the revised link. All right. So best speaker. The nominations are Toastmaster Prashant, Toastmaster Ashish. Please raise your hand so that others can know and vote. Toastmaster Yogesh, Toastmaster Harsh. Best speech evaluator, Toastmaster Ishita, Toastmaster Saurabh, TTM Saurabh. Okay.
You would anyway not winning.
But your name is there.
That's okay.
Toastmaster Namita, Toastmaster Sanya, auxiliary role player, our counter Toastmaster Nachiketa, we'll cancel that out. Timer Toastmaster Alisha, active listener Toastmaster Vishwajit, grammarian Toastmaster Ishita, role player, again I think Nachiketa will let that out. So we have Toastmaster of the Day, Toastmaster Sachin, and TTM.
No,
again.
it's only Sachin the other winner.
So
Hands
you
down
are the
winner.
other winner. So table topic speakers, guest Uchit. Uchit, could you raise your hand? Toastmaster Jasprit.
But that's not it.
Toastmaster.
What do you mean?
Let's see how that goes. Toastmaster Satyam. Guest Swati. Could you raise your hand? Guest Priyank. Toastmaster Ishita. All right. Do we have the revised forms now? So yes, we have the revised forms now on the WhatsApp groups. Please vote on the revised form. And while we do that, let's take some feedback from our guests who attended the meeting. I'll start with you. I won't ask everyone, just to be in, for the interest of time. So, since you came in late, could you please introduce yourself? What do you do? What brought you here? And how did you like the meeting today?
Sure. Hi all, I'm part of GTMC club. So today I'm here.
GTMC
You're part of this club?
GTBC club. It's been
Please
2 weeks on. So I came here to observe and learn from this meeting.
Oh.
Yeah. My name is Niharika.
Okay. Thank you, Niharika. And any feedback for us?
No, I like this aura and positivity. All of them are very confident. It's been only 2 weeks I'm part of that, and now I'm like, oh my god, where I'm standing. So I'm a little nervous. But yes, it's a great learning for me.
Thank you so much. Anything from you, any feedback?
Yeah, this is my first meeting. It was great, really positive, and I hope my teacher got to learn a lot. Definitely going to bring her more. And anyone who wants to really work on his communications, public speaking, confidence, is really a great forum. Must attend. I wish her friends attend as well. Great job.
Thank you. Anything from you?
So my name is Mark. This is my second meeting for this year, and again, it's a great forum for us to kind of build our confidence. And specifically, I have a bit of a stage fear, and probably I'm trying to overcome it this year. Thank you.
Sir, anything from you?
Wonderful gathering, full of youth, successful, who make India, who are going to make India. I'm very happy.
I want to ask you also. कैसा लगा? How did you like your dad's speech?
It was a super califragilistic experience.
So you are there. So there is a separate Toastmasters club for his age also, probably I think consider that. It would be very good since he is so superlative and whatever adjectives he used, can't even repeat those, but Thank you for gracing us with your presence today. Sir, what about you?
So this is my second meeting with this group, and as usual it was very exciting and very learning. So I've learned a lot. So I'm planning to join this group. So just gathering my strength, and I'm trying to be a good speaker and at least to be on a stage. As I said, I have fear. I have a stage fear, which I would want to come up.
It was my first meeting, and I really had a good life. And hopefully, so the eye-opening for me was the counter, and that is why I'm here. I would like to be in a situation where, without using fillers, I'm able to convey the thought in a graceful manner. So I think I'm on the right track, and looking forward to doing both. This was my first meeting, and it was very interesting.
You should have been there today also.
I'll try next. It was a wonderful time.
Thank you so much. Just in the interest of time, I'm limiting. Probably one more. I can take yours, your feedback, your introduction as well, since we missed that earlier.
Hi everyone, my name is Karan. My first meeting. We got a little big, tried to come. So yeah, the meeting was amazing. Like and also I have a stage appearance. So I trying to run that. So that's the reason I'm here. Yeah.
And what do you do?
I'm a management consultant.
Okay.
Yeah. So my role demands to be on stage more often.
Yeah.
So I have little fear. So I'm heading up on a different role. So that's the reason I want to go into that.
Definitely. Thank you, Karan, for this. And we often think whether our role demands this kind of skill or not, but I think we are interacting with people in every walk of life, whether we are a homemaker, an entrepreneur, or a professional. In every walk of life, we are dealing continuously with people. So absolutely, this kind of platform does make us confident speakers and confident interactors in our daily interaction. So try to utilize this platform to its best. With that, certain announcements, I'll take that forward. Next Sunday's meeting is going to be a club level table topics contest. It's not going to be this normal structure meeting. It will just be the table topics. We will have external contest judges coming and they will be evaluating us. So it will just be those table topics. The structure will vary. I encourage every member to take part in that table topics contest. There is no eligibility criteria. You just have to be the member of the club and you can take part in that table topics contest. So please nominate yourself. We can take the nominations offline on the group. So I would encourage everyone, each one of you, to participate in that table topics contest. It's very beneficial for you as an individual and collectively for our club as well. So look forward in the group for more announcements on this. That is for next Sunday. And then for the meeting on 1st March, it's going to be an international speech contest at the club level, at our club level. Again, there will be external evaluators coming. For that, there is an eligibility criteria that you at least have to complete level 2. So if you have completed level 2, please nominate yourself and take part in that contest so that you can go further on your public speaking journey as well. It's going to be very beneficial. We are going to take the nominations for that as well. Please nominate yourself for that. With that, if you are regularly giving speeches, taking speaker slots, fighting for the speaker slots, please make sure that you are updating it on the Toastmasters website also. We have noticed that even though you are giving speeches, but it's not reflecting on your dashboard. So make sure that you are updating your dashboard there as well, so that once you complete the levels, that can be approved. So make sure that is being done, and we'll try to monitor it more closely. If someone is not doing that regularly, we might restrain from providing you the speaker slot. That's just a way to monitor that and keep you also on track with your progress. If everyone has filled in, do we have the results? We have the network coming in this room. The network is a little slow.
No, he changed the form, it's re-uploaded.
Just now?
Let's take few more minutes to.
Is it a third version? Third version.
Third version.
Second
एक और है क्या?
Second वाली. Shock क्यों हो रहे हो भाई?
It's a second version only.
Third version आया है.
Which form are you filling?
तीन versions आए हैं. I am in the 4.
Please fill the form so that we have the results and then we can proceed to the certificates.
चार तीन फॉर्म आए तो हैं ग्रुप पे. क्या हो गया भैया आपको?
दो ही.
And while we are on that, a very welcome news that I had after coming back from this 2 weeks of vacation that I took, not necessarily a vacation, but certain personal commitments that I had, that our club won the Leaders Limelight Award. So, a big applause for that. And we have also achieved 8 DCP goals. So we are getting closer to the Medway Distinguished Award also. So let's keep that momentum on and aim for more awards. And at individual levels also there are a lot of awards. We'll reiterate more information about those individual awards also. Target for those awards, it just makes you more competitive and better as a speaker. Everyone done now for the voting? Guests also done for the voting?
Ashish, do we need to fill it again?
Let me start.
Just like your speech.
All right, let's not. So I'll start with the best table topic speaker, and that is our Japan companion, Toastmaster Jaspreet.
सामने फोटो
ये आ जाएंगे यहाँ से?
झुक जाओ थोड़ा.
आचार्य ने बचाई.
Best role player, Toastmasters.
We didn't know this at all.
Thanks for the travel journey. So we have a tie for the evaluator.
Namita, you're disqualified now. On
Yeah,
time.
yeah. I'm not giving myself.
He and Saurabh both are disqualified.
He is also disqualified. Bacha कौन?
Evaluators, we had 25% for all. Me and Saurabh are disqualified. So Sanya and Ishita. How will I?
Yes, दोनों
Yes,
sides.
sir.
शाहरुख खान. Hey! You should come in the center, no?
Okay.
In the center.
मैं center में हूँ.
Okay.
फोटो उसको मिल जाएगा ना फिर.
And I will not create any suspense for the best speaker. He is the one who has taken the most risk today. So Toastmaster Harsh. And before I forget, let's come together towards